explosion and fire on the Piper platform. All personnel abandoned.
On July 6, 1988, one of the most catastrophic disasters in oil industry history unfolded on the Piper Alpha oil platform, located 120 miles off the coast of Aberdeen, Scotland. This tragedy claimed the lives of 167 men and left an indelible mark on the industry. The disaster was the result of a series of operational failures, leading to explosions, fire, and ultimately the platform sinking into the North Sea. This is the story of the Piper Alpha disaster. The Piper Alpha oil platform was a massive structure located in the North Sea. It was the largest oil-producing rig in the world, generating enormous revenues for Occidental Petroleum Corporation. The platform had been operational since the mid-1970s and was a critical component of the UK's energy infrastructure, producing both oil and gas. On July 6, 1988, routine maintenance on the rig's condensate pumps began, a seemingly mundane task that would set off a chain of catastrophic events. At noon, one of the rig's two condensate pumps, Pump B, was shut down for its biannual maintenance. This included removing and servicing the pressure safety valve. The engineer responsible temporarily sealed the open condensate pipe with a flat metal disc cover, only hand tightening it to allow for easy replacement later. By 6 p.m., the maintenance work was still unfinished, and the engineer noted on the permit that Pump B was not ready and should not be activated under any circumstances. The Piper Alpha rig, operated by Occidental Petroleum, had a demanding work environment. Crew members worked long 12-hour shifts, often under high stress, for weeks without breaks. Despite the grueling conditions, workers earned between $15 and $30 per hour, while the company reported quarterly profits of $4.7 billion. The rig's workforce, including 226 crew members, faced significant fatigue, a critical factor in the events that unfolded. As the night shift began at 6 p.m., 62 men took over operations on the Piper Alpha, while 164 others rested in the living quarters. A crucial error occurred during the shift handover. The engineer who had worked on Pump B failed to communicate its status properly. Although he documented the pump's condition on a permit, it was stored separately from the permit for the overall pump inspection, never reaching the night shift crew. Compounding the problem, the lead operators did not review or discuss the work permits for incomplete tasks. This oversight would have catastrophic consequences. At 7 p.m., with divers working in the water near the rig, the automatic firefighting system was switched off to prevent the divers from being sucked into the intake pipes. This left the platform vulnerable in the event of a fire. At 9:45 p.m., condensate pump A suddenly stopped due to methane ice buildup in the gas compression pipes, causing a blockage. These pumps were crucial for transporting condensate, a mixture of hydrocarbons and water generated as a byproduct of gas processing, throughout the rig. With Pump A out of commission, the operators, unaware of the missing safety valve on Pump B, decided to start Pump B to resume operations. At 9:52 p.m., gas began flowing into Pump B. The loosely tightened metal disc cover on the condensate pipe could not withstand the pressure, causing gas to escape. A high-pitched noise signaled the leak, triggering gas alarms. Within moments, a massive explosion rocked the platform. Flames erupted, engulfing everything in their path. The initial explosion blew through fireproof walls, sending a massive fireball across the platform. The control room was destroyed, leaving operators unable to manage the situation. Key personnel were killed instantly, while others were thrown from their beds in the accommodation block. The rig descended into chaos. Despite the devastation, some crew members, following emergency procedures, rushed to the accommodation block's muster point, the designated area for gathering during evacuations. However, with the control room destroyed and no instructions being issued, many were left confused and panicked. As the platform burned, a secondary blast occurred when debris from the explosion ruptured another condensate pipe in Module B. The resulting fire spread rapidly, fueled by the unchecked flow of gas and oil. Crew members in Module D, unaware of the escalating disaster due to the failure of alarms, remained in their quarters, oblivious to the danger. Meanwhile, on the nearby Claymore and Tartan platforms, operators could see the flames from 20 miles away. However, without permission from headquarters in Aberdeen, they continued pumping oil and gas to Piper Alpha, inadvertently feeding the fire. At 10:04 p.m., operator David Kinraid managed to send out multiple Mayday calls.
Mayday! Explosion and fire on the Piper platform. All personnel abandoned.
Before the platform lost all electrical power. Rescue operations were hampered by the intensity of the fire. Sea King helicopters and rescue vessels arrived, but the heat and smoke made landing impossible. Many pathways to the lifeboats were blocked, trapping crew members on the platform. At 10:06 p.m., the situation worsened as crude oil pipework and processing vessels in Module B could no longer withstand the heat. They ruptured, releasing more oil that ignited, creating a massive black plume of smoke visible from miles away. This burning oil dripped onto the diving platform, where rubber mats placed by divers allowed the oil to form a burning puddle. At 10:20 p.m., the Tartan pipeline, overwhelmed by heat, ruptured, releasing 30 tons of highly flammable gas. This gas ignited, causing a catastrophic jet fire that made the destruction of the platform inevitable. The platform's emergency procedures strictly prohibited jumping into the sea due to the risk of death from impact or hypothermia, but with no other options, some crew members took their chances. They jumped from heights as great as 175 feet, hoping to survive the fall and the freezing North Sea waters. The rescue vessel MSV Tharos arrived, equipped with water cannons, a hospital and medical personnel. However, the water cannon's pressure was so strong it could injure or kill anyone hit. Despite the overwhelming disaster, the Claymore rig eventually stopped pumping oil and shut off the gas flow to Piper Alpha. However, by this point, it was too late. At 11:20 p.m., the platform's support structures, weakened by the heat, began to fail. The accommodation block where 87 men had sought refuge collapsed into the sea, killing all inside. By 12:45 a.m. on July 7th, almost all of Piper Alpha had sunk, leaving only Module A standing. Of the 226 men aboard, only 61 survived, with 167 lives lost, including those on the rescue boat. Most of the recovered bodies showed signs of death from smoke and gas inhalation, with others from burns and the impact of jumping into the sea. 30 bodies were never recovered. The fire burned for more than 3 weeks before it was fully extinguished. A public inquiry, led by Scottish Judge Lord William Cullen, was already underway. A saturation diving team later retrieved the accommodation module, containing the bodies of the 87 men trapped inside. The inquiry concluded that Occidental had inadequate safety and maintenance procedures. Lord Cullen's report made over 100 recommendations for enhanced safety measures, which led to significant changes in offshore safety regulations, including the Offshore Safety Act of 1992. Occidental was forced to pay $220 million in settlements to the victims' families. In 1992, a new platform, Piper Bravo, was constructed on the same North Sea oil field and remains operational today. The Piper Alpha disaster stands as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of safety oversights and the critical importance of stringent operational protocols in high-risk environments. The tragedy not only led to significant loss of life, but also transformed safety regulations in the oil industry. The memories of those who perished continue to serve as a powerful impetus for ongoing vigilance and improvement in safety standards. If you liked this content, press the like button, and if you want to see more videos from me, subscribe.